You are about to enter the fantasy football show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón. Smitty is live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Get on-demand one-on-one text advice with Smitty at thefantasyfootballshow.com.
You are about to enter the fantasy football show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón.
Get on-demand one-on-one text advice with Smitty at thefantasyfootballshow.com.
You are about to enter the fantasy football show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón. Smitty is live Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. You are about to enter the fantasy football show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al fantasía fútbol novelas. Espera con el patrón. You are about to enter the fantasy football show. Please stand by like a boss. Estás entrado al
Live from the fantasyfootballshow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
What is going on, good people? I am very pleased to announce that the Fantasy Football Throne League started today. You know what that means? You draft for me, I take the team you draft for me into battle. Earlier, if you missed it, we did an emergency noon Eastern live stream, 9 Pacific, where we drafted our first overall pick because we got the 1.1 in this draft. And the draft is moving along pretty smoothly. It's similar to the Cup League in that, you have a couple hours to make your pick, or the Cup League, you have 1 hour. And we're moving along pretty quickly. We're almost through the entire first round. We probably won't draft today. There's a chance we draft tomorrow, to be honest, the way things are moving. Here's what's happened so far in the Fantasy Football Throne League. We took JT at number 1 per your request. I work for you. You're drafting my team. I'm taking the team into battle that you draft for me. That's how the Throne League works. I organized this 3 years ago, where I got some of the biggest Instagram pages together and said, let's have our communities go to war. My community's going to take you out. Your community's not going to take us out. We're going to take you out. Everybody fighting back and forth. You guys, sum total, no more than me. And everybody's follower base is full of knowledge. And if you pull it together, you can do amazing things. And we're going to win this bad boy. Each of the 3 years we've had, I believe, one of, if not the best team. And we've had some injuries and all kinds of things, take us out. We got real far. I believe we made it to the finals last year, if I remember correctly. We had an amazing team. We took Jonathan Taylor with the 1.1 pick. We drew the 1.1 pick out of the hat. It went Christian McCaffrey. Then it went Austin Eckler. Then it went Najee Harris. Pretty par for the course. JJ, Cooper Kupp, Derrick Henry, Dalvin Cook, Jamar Chase, and now Couches on the clock. Profits next, and then Trevor, who is he's a Green Bay Packer page. He's a real cool dude. He's probably going to pick like Aaron Jones and Aaron Rodgers or something, hopefully. So he'll be on the clock at the end. This is a good group of boys. Good group of boys we got here. But I'll let you know and keep you updated. Of course, we'll go live once we are on the clock. Let's do a couple things. Let's hit the phone lines, okay? And let's get to the voice messages. So let's do it. Let's do the thing.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Call into the show. Dial 602 NFL. Dong.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Opening the phone lines right now, and drop your voice messages. Your boy Smitty's going to hold this maybe the whole show. I don't know, because we're in fantasy football throne territory. It's time to get it on. I believe I've got to turn the phone line on, so if you're dialing right now, you should be able to get through right now. Here we go. First phone call. You are live on the Fantasy Football Show. Who am I talking to?
You are live.
What's up, Smitty? It's Ted.
I hear myself in the background. Who is this?
You can't hear. I turned it off. You're right.
Okay.
You're good.
Who is this?
This is Ted. How's it going?
Ted, what's up, Ted?
I'm curious about tight ends. I know you don't love tight ends as much as Smith. I'm a tight end guy, so I wanted to open up the idea about why you're concerned about Kelsey, but not as concerned about Andrews. I think you made a really good point about Kelsey, that he's going to be the focal point. All the resources of the defense are going to go toward him. I get that, but why is that not the case for Andrews?
It is the case for Andrews. Find a place where I'm high on Andrews. You won't be able to. You there?
Okay, so you don't think there's elite production come from any tight end this year?
Okay, so here's my deal with tight end drafting. And I know I say this, I know it sounds arrogant every time I say it. I'm sorry if it comes off arrogant. I have a business to run. I want people to know, what I'm doing. Your boy Smitty is number one in the entire fantasy football industry in tight end draft rankings. 2 years out of the last 3, I ranked number one out of hundreds and hundreds of analysts. That's pretty hard to do one time. But 2 years out of the last 3, I ranked number one. And that's because of my breakout tight end prediction calls. Waller. No one had Waller higher than I had him. No one had Hawkinson higher than I had him. And this year, my friend, Dalton Schultz is sitting there in the 6th and 7th round. 7th and 8th round sometimes. I don't really love him in 6, but I'll take him in 6 at the end or something. But I love him in round 7. This guy, in my opinion, will finish as the number 2 or number 3 tight end in 2022. I think he can beat Andrews. I'm not saying he's a lock 2. I'm not saying you draft him to beat Andrews. I'm just saying I believe he is set up in a better way than Andrews is set up. And I'm not a big Andrews supporter, so I don't know where you got that. And I'm not mad at you or anything. I'm just saying I've never, like, whenever we mock draft and when we did the throne mock drafts, we mock drafted Andrews because you guys wanted him in the chat, and I'm like, I kept pushing back. I'm like, I don't want to take a tight end at the turn. I'd rather take Kelsey at 24, 25 at the turn if we get him there and we don't like who falls to us. I love Josh Allen and Kelsey. Pair that with JT to the moon. To the moon, my friend. Absolute. Where's my moon button? JT,
To the moon.
Josh Allen, and Kelsey. I'd be all about that. I don't know about you. But Andrews and Kelsey both are going to see a lot of defensive attention. What I've said about Kelsey and what you think I just said about Kelsey and not about Andrews, I agree with both of them. I think defensive attention is going to be high. That means more hits, harder hits, more lockdown coverage. Offenses are going to be jostled. They're not going to live in the red zone quite as much. Mahomes isn't going to live in the red zone as much without Tyreek Hill. Lamar Jackson's not going to live in the red zone as much without Hollywood Brown. Everybody wants Bateman to be the savior, but he has 500 yards and a single touchdown to his name. I'm not saying he didn't do very good in a short period of time. I'm not a moron. I know he was injured and he was pretty efficient I get it all. I understand what time it is, but we still haven't been proven. It has not been proven that the Bateman's the savior. And Kelsey's going to get absolutely hit harder, focused on more than ever before. This whole notion that Tyreek Hill leaving opens the door to more for Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce's an already overwatered plant. And you can only water a plant so much. Just because you were able to bring in buckets more of water, hence there's more targets to go around, doesn't mean you can water Kelce anymore. And if you feed him more, he's gonna get hurt. So do I think Andrews is set up as badly as Kelce to see that kind of defensive attention? I don't know. I suppose, because, I mean, look, at least the Chiefs have this, we spread the ball around a lot. We've got this a little bit more potent offense. Mahomes is a far better passer than Lamar Jackson. There's more footballs getting tossed around. So defenses are going to say, look, Lamar beats you on the ground. If you take away Lamar's running, like if you said in the Ravens tried to do this, and I'll let you talk in a second. I'm long-winded here. The Ravens tried to do this. They tried to dial back Lamar's running. It worked out miserably. The offense was off. They had to unleash Lamar and say, be Lamar, because he can't play that way. And so defenses are going to say, let's lock down Andrews. Let's see if Bateman can beat us. Let's lock down Andrews and try and make Lamar throw to somebody else. It's not going to be as functional of an offense. I'm not a big fan of this Hollywood Brown being traded out of Baltimore. I don't understand why they would do that to a quarterback that has hesitancy to sign his long-term deal with the organization, and you trade away his top wide receiver option. I don't care if Hollywood Brown didn't want to play there. We're playing in the NFL. We're big boys. You don't get to dictate where you go, especially in today's NFL, where you really don't have leverage because you can't really hold out anymore. It's $40,000 a day, and it's not refundable. It's not waivable. So I hope that answers your question. I'm not a huge fan of Andrews in the middle of the second round or the end of the second round. I don't hate him at 3.5. I don't hate Kelce at 24, but I'm not trading up or drafting.
You're not getting Kelce at 24.
Huh?
Any competent draft. Kelce's, I still consider Kelce a first round pick, a late first rounder myself.
Bro,
you're not getting Kelce at 24 in any kind of legitimate draft.
Bro, we're in a legitimate draft right now in the Throne League with 12 communities that are powered by. We have over 500,000 followers inside this Throne draft. And yeah, every community's got a little bit different.
Pick 12 right now, aren't you?
What?
Aren't you on pick 12? Where are we right now?
We're at pick 12, but every single year these tight ends fall. Every single year these tight ends fall. Yeah,
I'm saying to you, Kelce's not going to make it to 24.
He may not make it to 24. I agree with you. He may not. But had we not replaced these four owners with four new communities that I don't personally know, like I don't know their tendencies, had we kept everybody from last year, I guarantee you Kelce would have dropped to 24. This group doesn't draft tight ends early. This group doesn't draft quarterbacks early. This group is running back hungry. And I think that, there's one or two people in this league that I think could be capable of saying Kelce's worth the 12 or the 14. There's a bunch of newbies in this draft, 4. So I don't know. He could easily go, to one of those teams. But I can tell you right now that on average, quarterbacks and running backs are going to go top of 3 or mid-third to these guys, to this group. They're very running back oriented. A lot of them like to do the running back. So that's why Kelce's been falling. But Kelce's not worth an 8 overall. If anything, Tyreek Hill leaving makes me be more wary of drafting him 14 overall and making sure that it's like 18, 17 and beyond before I start looking at Kelce. And again, it comes back to what do you do well? Bro, if you draft Kelsey in round 1 and you know how to do it, you know how to build a team perfectly. When you draft a tight end in round 1, you're immediately chasing the entire draft, either wide receiver or running back, because you're behind the 8 ball every time you're on the clock trying to fill those 2 positions. And it's really hard. It makes you chase quarterback and wide receiver, or quarterback and running back. It puts you at a disadvantage that's almost proportional to the advantage you get by having Travis Kelce if you are good at landing late tight ends. If you're not good at landing late tight ends, you have a proven track record of drafting early tight end. Bro, don't listen to anybody. You need to draft to your strengths as a fantasy owner. If a fantasy owner tells you don't do something, like don't draft a tight end ever early, or always draft a quarterback late, or never draft a quarterback early, run from that analyst and that show as fast as you can, because that analyst didn't consider what your strengths are as a fantasy football owner. Maybe you're amazing at drafting a tight end early. Maybe that's your wheelhouse, and somebody's telling you not to do it when they don't even know that. And number two, most people can't draft tight end early. It takes a very unique set of skills. Not saying that the person that can do that is a better fantasy player, but it's a niche. It's like a niche fantasy football skill set to draft tight end early, to make sure you're both good at drafting late running backs and late wide receivers and late quarterbacks, because you can't pinpoint who that breakout is. Freiermuth in the double-digit rounds is your safety net tight end in 2022. Maybe he doesn't get consistent footballs. It could be a quarterback rotation. There's a reason why he's double-digit rounds, but it bakes in all the risk and he has all the upside. Dawson Knox, 9th round, something like that. Waller's falling to like 5 and 6 round ranges, and that's absolutely phenomenal. Waller is now a sleeper tight end in 2022, which is crazy. Dalton Schultz could be number 2 or number 3. He could outscore Andrews. You can get him in round 7. To me, it's a no-brainer. This is what I do, is draft tight end late, and I'm good at it. I'm good at pinpointing those breakout tight ends, but not everybody drafts well doing that. So you got to do what's good for you. I personally am not going near a tight end until the turn, or right around the turn. And if Andrews is there at 3.5 and you guys want him in the Throne League, I'll take him. I'm fine with that. But at 24, 25 turn, I don't like it. I like Kelsey there, but I don't like Andrews there.
Fair enough. When do you think it's going to take? How long do you think it's going to take for Pitts to become dominant? And what are the things he needs?
I mean, he's already dominant. It's a matter of like, when's he take that big step forward? I mean, when does Kyle Pitts turn into an absolute monster? Like the kind of player you are draft. You see a lot of people that I think share your stance. I'm not sure if you're early tight end. I can kind of guess you are based on the question. But
I am, absolutely.
Yeah.
Am.
Kyle Pitt, and don't let anybody change your mind, bro. Don't let me change your mind. Don't let if you are successful with it, you've carved out a niche that a lot of people, they don't ever put the time into. I can tell you one thing, 9 times out of 10, if I told someone to go tight end early, if I said, hey, try this tight end early approach, they would say,
well, here's the thing.
They would screw it up, bro.
I was tight end early.
You what?
I was tight end early during the time when I felt there were only 2 or 3 elite tight ends. It feels like now there might be more really good tight ends, and I'm starting to think about maybe scaling back on that. But it's just, does an elite tight end need an elite quarterback? Because if not, maybe Pitts is the answer.
Bro, Pitts is so good that he's going to be 1,000-yard, tight end in 2022. The question is, when does his touchdown total go from 5, 6, 7 to like 12 to 15? And maybe Ritter's the answer. We don't know, but you do have to anticipate tight ends or touchdowns being a potential problem category for him until you have a secure quarterback situation, because throwing touchdowns is hard. Like catching touchdowns as a tight end, double digit, you need consistency. You need a good quarterback. You don't trip and fall into 10 touchdowns for a tight end. So, like, that's when the uptick's going to happen. He's going to the switch will get flipped once he has consistency. It doesn't have to be an elite quarterback, but consistency. Then Pitts goes from your 3rd round. Like right now, Pitts is end of the 3rd round. and that's early. I don't love that. I love him in 4. If you can get Pitts in 4, I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm all about it in redraft. But in 3rd round areas, he can earn it, but he's got to like really ball out, and then you're going to be worried about it the whole time. Why not just take Dalton Schultz in round 7? Why not take Dawson Knox in round 8? Why not take Freiermuth in round 10, 11, 12? I mean, I'm looking at the tight ends right now. George Kittle falls to round 5 sometimes, bro. Like, I get it. He's inconsistent.
Yeah, I like Freiermuth a lot. He never drops anything, but yeah, how many touchdowns is he going to get?
Well,
how many times are they in the red zone?
But Knox is ranked like, sometimes I see Knox ranked at like 9 or 10 on pre-rank lists on draft software, bro. Freiermuth outside the top 10.
Yeah, Knox. Don't get me started on Knox.
Gesicki's okay. Cole Kmet, you could get in double-digit rounds. I like him. I mean, there are too many options to end up settling on Cole Kmet as your starter, but as a backup, and then he rotates in if you fail. Like, let's say you draft Goddard and he gets hurt, and you got Kmet. But Dalton Schultz is my favorite. Waller's really, really attractive this year because he's falling so late. Kittle in the late 4th, early 5th round. Why not? Like, the one part of the equation for Kittle that's changing is pretty big. He's getting a quarterback that can throw the football. So when people think of Kittle, okay, they block a lot. There is some risk there. This is what I say on my show. I have a premiere on the 3rd and 4th round league winners that is launching right after the show ends. So as soon as the show ends, we're going to go over to my YouTube homepage and we're going to watch the premiere. It's a 22-minute premiere on 3rd and 4th round league winners. And in this video, I talk about how people are getting ridiculous with this whole, like, DK Metcalf. Aren't you worried about DK Metcalf doesn't have a quarterback? When that's baked into the value that you're now paying. So in the case of Kittle is, what would you say Kittle is when he's elite, he's getting the football, he's on fire? Where is he ranked? 2nd round, right? Right?
I mean, 4th. I'd go 4th.
No. When he's on fire,
I am a little concerned about his wearing down.
You're not listening to me, pal. I'm saying when he's on fire, he's on point. He's the man. The ball's getting fed to him. He is in the Andrews range. I'm just kidding with you, by the way.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying.
He's in the Andrews range, right? He's in that late 2nd to top of the 3rd, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Why is Kittle?
Those days are over.
Why is Kittle in round 4 right now, or almost round 5? Because he's blocking. He's inconsistent.
One of the reasons,
right?
Well, that and first of all, I think one of the biggest problems is he's wearing down a little bit, and secondly, now he has a quarterback who doesn't need to dump off to him, so he's going to have a lot more times where he's just blocking down the field for a guy running.
Right. So my point is, when people say Kittle is a worry in 4-5. That already factors in the concern that you're facing these days with Kittle, but that's about to change potentially with Trey Lance coming in. So this is a 2nd round to 3rd round tight end that you can now get in round 4 or 5, which bakes in all the risk that everybody complains about when they talk about Kittle. Can't take Kittle because he doesn't have it's all baked in already. What if Lance feeds him? What if he's asked not to block as much? If he is asked to block as much, he does disappear for 3 games in a row like he has been. You're paying 4th and 5th round value. It's already baked in. But if Trey Lance unleashes him, if Trey Lance spreads this offense out in such a way that he's able to feed him like crazy, guess what? Guess what, Kittle? You get a 4th to 5th round tight end now that is worth 2nd round value. That's how you win leagues, in my opinion. You could win them the way you want to win by drafting a tight end early. I get it, but I'm going to draft Kittle in round 5. I'm going to draft Schultz in round 7 and 8. Knox in 8 and 9. Freiermuth in double-digit round range. Goddard in 10, 9, 10, 11. Who knows where. The pre-rank should guide you a lot on this, you know. That's how I win leagues, and that's what works for me. But do what works for you. It's a evolving topic every year. There's no tight ends. There's a lot of tight ends. There's no tight ends. There's a lot of tight ends. Same thing with running back. Running back's dead. No, it's not. Running back's never going to die. Every team does a running back not true. There are very few workhorse running backs. Not true. Not accurate. There are well over 10 running backs easy that are considered workhorse running back. Everybody's got these new terminologies and ways to define stuff walking into each and every season. This is dying, that's dying, this is crazy, that's crazy. You need to recognize, does ADP bake in the risk or does it not? If it does, then stop talking about, I'm not talking to you specifically, stop talking about how Kittle and DK and Breece Hall have all these risk factors. What about Michael Carter? What about Melvin Gordon? Javante's going in round 2 right now. That's already factored in. If all these things, you're safeguarded. ADP is your friend in all of these cases. And it's time to dominate using it. Appreciate you, buddy, for the question. Call in anytime.
All right, buddy. Thanks.
You got anything else?
No, I'm good. Thanks, man.
Okay. Hey, appreciate you, man. All right. I hope you didn't take that personally. I'm like, you aren't listening. Anyway, dial in if you would like.
Call into the show. Dial 60.
Who was that again? I forgot who that was. Man, these Mexican Cokes are amazing. Anybody tried a Mexican Coke versus an American Coke?
My boy Smitty.
Real sugar. Well, who is
What up,
this?
dude?
Who is this?
My boy.
This is my boy? Who is this?
Yeah, it's your boy Alex.
Who?
Alex.
What's up, man?
What up, dog? Yo, so quick question. So I got my boy, I have A.J. Brown and Brandon Cooks in the Dynasty League. And do you think I should trade them off for Deontay Johnson and DJ Moore?
A.J. Brown for Deontay Johnson and DJ Moore?
But I'm giving up Brandon Cooks as well.
So you give up A.J. Brown and Brandon Cooks for Deontay and DJ Moore? No.
You want it?
I wouldn't do it. I mean, number one, A.J. Brown is the best player in the deal.
Absolutely.
Yeah, DJ Moore, I mean, he has no quarterback. He's like McLaurin right now. He's a lesser version of McLaurin, but he has no quarterback in sight. Maybe Baker gets traded there, but that's still not necessarily going to send him to the moon, you know? Like, DJ Moore is stuck in a pretty bad spot. I don't know that it's going to ever change while he's in his prime, whereas maybe McLaurin's does. I don't know. They're kind of similar. Like, we need more quarterback power. We need more power for these wide receivers. But Deontay, this whole notion that Deontay's the number one wide receiver in Pittsburgh. He's a wide receiver 1.
I like Pickens over there.
Yeah,
Pickens.
Pickens could take his job like that. Like, what is this Deontay stuff? I mean, come on. Why is everybody on the Deontay train? He lost his laser locking target peppering quarterback that literally just throws him the ball like this all day long. And everybody loves Deontay Johnson. I don't like Deontay Johnson at all. He's going like in the 4th round, high 4th round sometimes. I've seen him go in the 3rd round. People are absolutely crazy to be drafting Deontay Johnson as their...
I didn't draft him in none of my leagues.
Bro,
I peeped his targets. He gets a ton of targets, so.
Bro, Claypool's going to outscore him if he stays healthy. I know Claypool's a little ridiculous with I'm the 3rd best receiver in the league. He's not.
Top 3.
Here, first of all, before I start talking up Claypool, hey, Chase Claypool.
I'm not a big Claypool guy. Like, he's good, but I would rather have George Pickens than Claypool.
Yeah. I like Pickens more than I like long-term more than I like Deontay. And I like Claypool more than I like both of them for redraft. Because Claypool is the alpha. He's the guy with the catch radius. He's the guy that's going to pull in double-digit touchdowns. Deontay has so much to prove because it's almost as if he's starting over in my book. Like, he's got inconsistency. They benched him before because of drops and things like that. Like, he doesn't feel like the definition of consistency. You take away his quarterback. Now you throw in Mitchell Trubisky. We don't know what to expect. We don't know what rapport you can't say Deontay is miles ahead of Claypool in talent. You just can't. If anybody says that, they're literally a Deontay fan, and and you can't even talk sense to him. Deontay Johnson's good, and so is Claypool. Claypool has different assets, different skill sets than Deontay. Deontay has different skill sets than Claypool. It's hard to compare them apples to apples, but Claypool's ability to get a jump ball, dominate the space around
he's
him.
a moss people.
He's
a beast. He's a freak.
He's like a tight end. Like, anybody thinks he's going to be able to get beat. Deontay's not beating him out at jump balls, 50-50 balls. There's just no way.
Oh, absolutely not. No way.
Claypool, to me, is a big risk if you draft him high. If you get him in a really good place, like your wide receiver 3-4, then there's no risk at all. Deontay, you're taking around 4 or earlier. Claypool, you're getting as your wide receiver 3-4. Like, I don't know. I imagine you could get Claypool in around 8-9. Like, there's no debate.
Yeah.
There's no debate in my book. Claypool round 8 or 9. I'll go do something else with the pick that everybody's using on Deontay. Give me Breece Hall at 4.2, and give me Claypool.
Ooh, I have Breece Hall in all my leagues.
Bro,
trade away Saquon Barkley for Breece Hall.
Bro, Breece Hall
To the moon.
Breece Hall to the moon. It's not even a debate.
Oh my God!
He's already, bro. Breece Hall's already on
To the moon.
He's a freak.
He's there. He lives on the moon. That's what he does. That's his first job.
He
His
was
first
born on
job
the
is
moon.
moonwalking.
He was born on the moon.
Born on the moon. His mother had him on the moon.
The entire
All right, what else?
family.
What else you got for me?
With Craig.
What?
Oh yeah. He's cousins with Craig. I can't think of his first name. He's a famous football player. I can't think of his first name.
All right, what else you got,
Tony
man?
Craig, I believe.
We can reminisce on that later. What else you got?
Another one is Colin Sutton. How do you feel about him?
We got to move the show along. You know what I'm saying? Cortland Sutton. I don't know, man. It's like this is he could be okay. We kind of got to see what rapport is being built with which wide receiver. I imagine it's going to be Judy. If Judy gets hurt or falls on his face or whatever, then Sutton's going to step in. Until then, I'm just not drafting him high.
DK Metcalf for Wilson.
Everybody comparing these two, they're totally different wide receivers. Like DK Metcalf to Cortland Sutton, that's not even the same thing. It's like saying, oh well, he's going over here, so let's just throw a name on Sutton and call him like the skill sets aren't even matching up at all. Like Lockett catches balls differently than Judy, runs different routes, not even the same, not even close. I like Sutton, but comparing him to DK, in my opinion, is ridiculous when people do that. I think Sutton could be the number one. I think Judy could be the number one. I think we're all guessing at this point. Judy appears to have his trust and has a little bit more rapport, according to what I'm hearing and all the little birdies whispering in my ear. But I also hear people say, hey, if Sutton gets called upon and Judy gets hurt or something, Sutton could definitely be force-fed. Look at Deontay Johnson, a player I don't think deserves the ranking and respect everybody's giving him from a fantasy perspective, but because he was force-fed and peppered targets over and over by Big Ben, he became this hot commodity. So Sutton could get there too. Volume's half the battle, bro. All of them got enough talent on this. Even Hamler has enough talent. He got injured. He's coming off the ACL. All of them, all three of those guys, even Tim Patrick has enough talent that if he's getting peppered by Russell Wilson, he's going to look better than he is.
There's a ton for Wilson. Wilson's have a good year this year. But another question is Alan Lazard. Do you think he could be a number one for Green Bay?
I think, he could be for strings of games. I think he could have like 1,100 yards and like 8 touchdowns, something like that. He'll have a good year. Do I think that Watson by midseason will be the guy? I do. I think Lazard has a place. I like Lazard's value, but I think Watson's he's going to get force-fed. And even though Aaron Rodgers brings rookies along slowly, it's going to be one of those things where he doesn't have time to do that. And the wide receiver room's so thinned out. This isn't previous years' examples where you're like, oh, well, he does this and he does this. Like, it's different. He has a short window of time to play in the league. He might last one more year. Could play 1 year, could play 2 years. He doesn't, just because he signed a big deal doesn't mean
I could see him playing until like he's like 40, 41, so 2 or 3 more years.
See. All right, pal. I got to let you go. I got to get to other calls. Appreciate you.
All right, man. Thank you.
Call
Take
back
care.
whenever. Later. All right, guys. Dial in.
Call into the show. Dial 602 NFL. Dong.
Mr. B, no one's comparing their style of play or what plays they run or where they line up. We're talking about value, Mr. B. We're talking about value. What's up? You're on the Fantasy Football Show live. What can I do for you? And who am I talking to?
Hey, Smitty, this is Don Draper. What's going on?
What's up, Draper?
Hey, man, I got a question for you. I'm playing in a 2 QB Superflex league, and I keep going back and forth over how early I should be taking a QB, especially because I'm eyeing Herbert, thinking he's going to have a real monster year. Just kind of wondering what your thoughts are about the earliest I should be taking my first quarterback as well as my second QB.
Okay, so here's my strategy for Superflex. Number one, if you don't have a top 4 overall pick or a top 5, you're at a huge disadvantage. But what pick are you at?
I'm 8 in a 12-team league.
And your league, my second question is, does your league lean heavy toward quarterback early, or are they oblivious to what they need to do and they just draft quarterback like normal?
You know what? We just implemented the Superflex a couple of years ago, and since then, I mean, each draft has been a little bit different, but I would like to say that they probably do start taking the quarterbacks pretty early now.
Yeah, I mean,
they start to realize how important they are.
Yeah, you're not going to get Herbert at 8, bro.
Well, no, I assume
That's
that
like,
probably wouldn't be the case, but just in case he might slip to me.
He won't. But I mean, here's the thing. And let me explain it this way. Let me go to the marker board and kind of show you. I'm not sure if you're able to watch. But
yeah, I'm watching as
okay, so here's the deal. When you're in a Superflex, the key to dominating a Superflex is having that top 5 overall pick. And I don't know if you can trade your 8 up to get 4. Top 4. Call it top 4. I don't know if you could trade that 8 up. Like if you could give like your 7-rounder for free just to make that move, would somebody do it? I don't know. Start making offers. Don't try and mess too much with this. Just mess with like a 6th or 7th rounder. But here's the crazy part. This is the first round. This is the first round. Round number 2. The way you got to look at it. This is round 2. This is round 3. If you were to step back and look at this from a 1 QB perspective, this is essentially round 1. If you're blessed to get a top 4 pick and you walk out with Herbert, this right here between your pick and your pick over here in the second round, which is going to be, let's say you got Herbert at 3. So you're going to have the third to last pick here. There's going to be literally like 3 players that are non-quarterbacks or 4 that go between your pick here and here. You're essentially starting off as if you're back in the first round in a 1 QB league. You've already got one of your QBs, narrowed down. If it's super flex, that means you don't have to start 2 QBs. Of course you want to, but you don't have to. If you end up screwing up and not getting the right second quarterback. But right here, you can go Swift. Right here, you can get Javonte. Right here, you're going to land like DK. Right here, instead of, this could be Hall here. Like it's crazy. These players move down an entire round because of the quarterbacks being taken. And if you take your quarterback in round 1 and you're not taking a garbage one, like even like Dak, I don't like Dak here because you're taking a good quarterback, but like having Herbert, Mahomes, Josh Allen, or Burrow, maybe even Lamar, that's why I say top 5 potentially, or Kyler, you're kind of like, so like you could probably get one of those. So I still would probably deploy that strategy with either Kyler or Lamar. So for you, I'd say Lamar or Kyler are possible. Start drafting normal at this point. Start like if you're sitting here in like Brady or Aaron Rodgers is here, I'd sidestep and take an A-Rod and a super flex in if for any dumb reason he fell. He's not going to though. Don't sit here and draft a Cousins in round 3. Don't draft a Stafford at the top of round 2. Like you're putting yourself, I think, at a disadvantage. If go up and keep your pick or move up, take Lamar or Kyler, and then start drafting like normal. Here's a quarterback that I love in Superflex as your second quarterback if you want to put your balls on the line and get a little risky. Davis Mills. Davis Mills is a pretty darn good QB2 if you want to try and stack these positions. But the key to everything is not to be spending your pick on a quarterback in this place where you've been gifted a reset of, hey, let's pretend we're back in round 1. You've got Swift and guys like Cooper Kupp or whoever is going to fall here, sitting here in round 2. If you can take advantage of that, you can absolutely crush your league.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. Last year, I took Tom Brady late, and then I gambled on Sam Darnold, and it backfired on me. So this year, I'm hoping not to make the same mistake. So I want to try to take someone early, but yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yeah. All right, man. Appreciate you. Call back if
All
you have
right,
another
man,
question.
appreciate it.
Later. All right, what else we got? What else we got? Dial in. We'll hit the voicemails while we wait. Voicemail group number 1. Jim.
Hey, Smitty. The Eagles had one of the best run games in the NFL last year, but I'm really kind of hesitant on the backfield this year. I like the talent of Miles Sanders, but I just don't trust him to stay healthy and get the full workload. If you're going to take Miles Sanders, do you trust him as a maybe borderline running back 2, probably running back 3? And who are you cuffing him to? Is it Boston Scott or is it Kenneth Gainwell?
Miles Sanders, good old Miles. I honestly, man, I'm just staying away from that. Like I like him at very late value, but not at a place where I'm cuffing and strategizing how to throw my season away because I want to cuff Miles Sanders. You know what I mean? Like I think if you're worried about this, drafting Miles Sanders, cuffing Miles Sanders, securing that, that Philly backup, just go after Miles Sanders late, and if he goes too early, then so be it. Let him be someone else's problem. But Smitty used to love Miles Sanders. Mr. B, I don't know who you think you're talking to right now, but I've always dreaded Miles Sanders. I've never once liked Miles Sanders, bro. So I don't know who you've been watching, bro. You've been cheating on me. You've been watching a different channel, bro. What's going on, Mr. B? Because that's some BS right there. Go after a different player, bro. Miles Sanders late, or that's it. Don't be focusing on cuffing that situation. I'd much rather cuff Mitchell and Davis Price and Sermon. You know what I mean? Like I'd rather have that backfield owned than the Philly backfield owned. I mean, he's a good, don't get me wrong, Macho. He's a really, really good late round guy. But is he going late round? I don't know. Can he be your flex? Sure. I'll draft Miles Sanders as my flex, but I don't know if he's fallen that far. So I'm not, just don't reach for him, Macho. Don't reach for him. Jim, don't reach for him. If he falls to you at a flex, but I'm not worried about cuffing him. We don't know who the cuff is. I mean, honestly, it's gonna be a full-blown committee there. It's Jalen Hurts season, AJ Brown, Goddard. Hopefully they pass the ball a whole lot more than I think people are expecting. Mr. B says, whoops, mixed you up with my side piece. Yes, you did.
Hey, Smitty, I'm really high on Alec Pierce, and I know you are too, but you seem to be even higher on him more than most experts. Yeah, I think you've even said that he could even compete with Pittman to take over that number 1 role in Indianapolis. If you think that, what do you think his realistic expectations are this year in his rookie year as a fantasy player? And do you think that offense with Matt Ryan has enough volume to support 2 receivers?
Not to become studs or anything, no. I think they run the ball. Matt Ryan's efficient, helps him get into the red zone so they can feed Taylor more. I think Deontay Johnson, I like Pittman more than I like Deontay, but I feel very similar about what's going on with this value. The fantasy value of Pittman is based on situation. Like, I like Pittman. I do, but he's not an elite wide receiver 1. Pittman does not have fantasy football wide receiver 1 skills. He's a potential low-end wide receiver 2 that can ball out here and there, but Michael Pittman is not some alpha dog, I don't see it. I don't see it at all. Pittman's not this alpha dog dominating wide receiver one in fantasy. I'm not a fan. Like, if he was going later, and there's a line in the sand for every player. Again, back to Barkley. I don't like Barkley anywhere near round 2. Do I like Barkley at 3.7? Yeah. It's different. It's very different than drafting him as a second drafted player. Drafting Pittman at 4th round value is where some of you are taking Michael Pittman in mock drafts, and I just can't. I'm beside myself. I'm beside myself when I see this. I can't believe it. I mean, I like Alec Pierce a lot, and I think there's not enough room for both of them to become like 1,200 yard, 12 touchdown wide receivers. I don't even know if one of them can do that, but if I had to bank on something happening and throw it out there, I would say probably Pittman's going to do better than Alec Pierce in the beginning of the year, but Alec Pierce might become Matt Ryan's favorite target come midseason on. And Alec Pierce might end up outscoring Pittman, or they're very close and neither one of them explode because they kind of eat into each other's seasons. Maybe Pittman has a better start and then slows down. Alec Pierce starts off slow and then does well. For anybody to think it has to be one player the whole time, I don't know. I think they could rotate. I'm not against Pittman at the right value, but his ADP is so ridiculously high. I can honestly say I'm out altogether until I see his ADP fall significantly. 4th round value, going nowhere near 4th round value for Michael Pittman. That's crazy. Ryan.
Hey, Smitty. Just want to talk about your buddy Jacobs in terms of redraft this year. Do you see him up with the Gibsons, Dobbins, Mitchells, or is he down with like Sanders, Pollard, Hunt, CEH in that range?
Jacobs, he belongs above the Pollards and the Sanders guys, but do I have faith that he'll be better than a Pollard or something? No. So like, it's more about like, okay, you can't start telling people to draft Pollard over Jacobs. You just can't. That's ridiculous. Trade value alone, is higher for Jacobs, and Jacobs has a decent opportunity to do well, but it sounds like they really, really like Zamir White. You could cuff him. That might help you. I'm not in the business of drafting a player. I feel like I've got to say, you could cuff him. You could cuff him though, and then really, like, it's different with Mitchell and Davis Price and Sermon because they stick to one running back, and they're one of the better rushing offenses in the league in San Francisco. So it's a little bit different. There are a couple of scenarios where I feel like they're not going to do a running back by committee necessarily in San Francisco. A lot of people twist up San Francisco and they say, oh, they're running back by committee or whatever. They're not a running back by committee as much as they rotate their backs. Like, okay, Davis Price is going to be the starter from week 8 on, watch, or week 5 on. Davis Price is going to get some starts, man. But when Shanahan starts feeding his dog, he starts feeding his dog full time. And so there's a different way to look at this. I'm not liking Jacobs. I'd rather just draft Zamir White and then take somebody else in place of Jacobs, because I think what a lot of people get twisted up is, if we go to the board again, is it's not so much that I don't like Jacobs at all, but if you're telling me that Jacobs is going like, here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, I don't know where Jacobs' ADP is like cementing in, but let's just say it's in this range. Like, if I'm going to be able to get Burrow like right here, because he seems to be attainable in round 5, I'm going to go this route and then take Zamir White downstream, like very far downstream. And then I'll address Kenneth Walker here, or the next round if you think he'll fall. And rather than take Jacobs and do whatever I'm going to do here, I just rather rebuild my strategy and land the better player. Because it's not about, is there a place where
Call into the show.
I like
602
Jacobs?
NFL. Dong.
There's certainly a place where I could like Jacobs, but I don't like him at his current ADP. There are just too many other players that are much safer and better. And I don't know. Ryan.
Hey, Smitty, just want to talk about your buddy Jacobs in terms of someone pretty high on the tight end rankings that we don't talk about much is Hawkinson. Where do you see Hawkinson for 2022 and then for beyond?
I don't know. I think until they have a quarterback in Detroit, I'm not really like, I like him. He's definitely like 6 to 10, but he kind of feels like he could disappoint you on and off until he gets a good quarterback in there. So I'm more about drafting Dalton Schultz and Kittle or whatever, even though Kittle's got a little bit of a confusing situation. But
hey Smitty, it's Tariq. How's it going? How's everyone in the chat? My question is, last year you said that to pair Elijah Mitchell and Trey Sermon.
Call back. Sorry, I missed that.
Well, Trey Sermon was in the doghouse and he was a bust, but Elijah Mitchell did help a lot of people win their leagues. So for 2022, who do you think is a potential league winner? Anyone from the running back crew, as a rookie, as a sophomore? Thanks, Paul.
Sophomore running back breakout? Is that what the question is? I'm not quite sure what you meant by that, because you used Mitchell and then I don't know, man. I guess if I had to like say from the sophomore crew, if that's what the question is, I'd probably say, of course, Javonte is going to explode. Of course, Najee is going to be unbelievable, but ETN is, the biggest. Stevenson, maybe Ramondre Stevenson. That's about it. I mean, I don't think Michael Carter's blowing up because I like Breece Hall. I think ETN's going to be the bounce back player of the year, and also, a guy that everybody's like, we should have ranked him in this high third round. This whole fourth round and fifth round ETN ranking, especially with the James Robinson news today, that should lower ETN's value again, which is great. It bakes in even more risk. If ETN falls back into the fifth round, that's the breakout from the sophomore group, bro. That question. Call back if you...
Hey Smitty, it's Tariq. How's it going? What's your thoughts on Robert Bobby Trees in 2022? If healthy from his ACL injury, do you think he's a top 10 to 15 receiver? And would you consider him a receiver 1 or 2? Thanks, Paul.
I don't even draft him, Tariq. I'm sorry to burst your bubble on that, but like, he's coming back from an ACL tear. You don't even know what his role is going to be. He's nowhere near wide receiver 1 or 2. Like, he would be, you would be running the risk of starting him as your flex. He's not going to be fully ready. What's up? You're live on the Fantasy Football Show.
Hey, Smitty, it's the Bruce.
The Bruce! The Bruce!
The Bruce
is loose.
What's up, pal?
I got a question for you. Where do you think the best landing spot for Julio is?
The bench. The waiver wire. I
was watching it.
The broadcast booth.
Yeah, maybe. I was watching an interview with Matt Ryan on the Maxie show, and he said he texts Julio every day. And I was looking at it, and I'm thinking it. And I'm like, I don't like Pittman. Pierce I don't know about, but that chemistry is there. Why doesn't he put in the work for him?
I mean, maybe that ends up happening to Bruce. It wouldn't surprise me at all. But, like, fantasy-wise, I'm not interested in Julio. He's not putting together enough games in a row. If he's, like, here's the deal. When you're as old as Julio is, and I'm not saying he's an old human, but he's an old football player, when you get to a certain point, when you hit certain barriers of being a certain age as a football player, running backs are different than wide receivers. Wide receivers are different than running backs and so forth, quarterbacks. There's certain things that fall off. If Julio was going to be fed in a way that would make him fantasy relevant, that means he'd be getting a lot of work, and a lot of work is going to break a guy like Julio really fast. Could he play a whole season, maybe miss a couple games here or there, doing like minimal things? Yeah. Like AJ Green. It's like could AJ Green come out and have a long season by playing sparingly and not doing huge things? Yeah. But if AJ Green was come out and they force-fed AJ Green, he'd get hurt within 4 games. Julio, same thing. So I'm not even worried. Next.
And I got one more.
I drafted, or in our league where we represent all our communities, me and my friends, I got the 1.1. Do you think I should trade down to the 1.5 if I already know the guy I'm targeting is Jefferson? Or should I just stay at 1.1 and take Jefferson?
I don't think it's a dynasty.
No, it's redraft.
I don't think you should. I don't think you should take Jefferson at 1.1. I think if you are going to, like, if I can't talk you into keeping JT, then I probably would say, damn it, Bruce, trade down. Like if I just can't talk any sense into you. But I love Jefferson. I do. You are losing the advantage of that second drafted player being, can you trade down? You can trade down. Can you trade down just to and move another pick up? You're not trading draft orders, right?
No, you're not trading draft orders. You're just trading spots.
So what are you getting, though?
Swapping picks.
What are you getting?
Oh, I'd be getting the 1.5, his 4th round pick, and his 6th round. But he would take the 1.1 in my last 2 rounds.
Yeah, do that. You get his 4th and 6th rounder?
Yeah.
Yeah, punch that. Here, let me Smitty approve that. Punch that. Reason being, bro, that could be. Listen to what that could be. Let me show you on the board. You didn't say that, Bruce. That should have been the first words in your off your tongue, bro. Is I'm getting this entire package, Smitty. Not should I trade down to the 5 pick like you were trading draft spots. Here's what you're getting. This is unbelievable, the Bruce. History is being made on the show right now by you getting this trade done. This is amazingness. You're getting potential.
Oh, this is King Smitty, so you got it.
Dude, you're potentially getting Burrow and Walker and Jamar Chase all for JT.
Okay.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Okay. How about, yeah, buddy?
I'm looking at it and I'm like, I don't know if I should just draft him here because I don't know if, Jefferson's going to fall to 5 or Chase. I'm like, or should I just stick and pick at 1.1?
Don't be married to one player and not take this kind of look at the board right here. I don't know if you can watch right now on YouTube, but look at the board. Even if it's not Jamar Chase, it's going to be maybe JJ. It's going to be Najee. Don't overthink this. Who cares if someone takes Chase? You'll be sad. It's going to suck for you for a minute. But you're getting a Burrow and a Walker. You're getting 2 massive pieces. And don't forget, the Bruce, you still got a pick in this round. You still got a pick in this round.
Okay.
You know what I mean? No one's taking your picks away. These are extra players. You're going to have, let's put DK in here. Let's put 3rd round. Let's say, who do you like in the 3rd round, the Bruce?
I like Hall.
Okay, put Hall there. Who do you like in round 2?
Round 2, I like it depends on who's there. If Adams is there, I might take one shot of Devontae. I'm not early on tight ends. I don't like tight ends early. Matter of fact, I like Knox this year.
Okay. So look at what we're building here. You got Chase or whoever, Adams, Breece Hall, DK, Burrow, Walker, and if this isn't Adams, maybe somehow, some way Javonte falls. Maybe you can trade your 6th rounder to move this 2nd rounder up the Bruce to get Javonte or Swift right here. Think creatively. Look at that 6th rounder as the house's money and maybe throw that 6th rounder in to get that 2nd rounder back up there, broski. Go get Javonte. If you come out of this, think about this, the Bruce. Let me show you one more thing. If you don't like this, I'm going to be upset at you. Okay?
All right.
Let's say right here, you're basically trading JT. If you get, let's say, Burrow, you're going to get Burrow with that 6th rounder or that 4th rounder.
Okay.
You're going to trade this 6th rounder that you get. So you're not getting Walker, let's say. You're going to trade this 6th rounder and your 2nd rounder to get Swift or Javonte. Move that up there. You're going to walk out with Jamar Chase, Javonte or Swift, Burrow, Breece Hall, probably still Kenneth Walker because he falls so far. Look at this team. Chase, Burrow, Javonte, Hall, Kenneth Walker. Like, you would be stacked, bro. Don't even hesitate. Punch the button. All right, what else you got for me?
All right.
That one was easy.
All right. Here's one. All right, so we have Kirk Cousins too. Miss Ferguson's upset because we don't like Kirk Cousins. I said I like him. He's my quarterback.
Don't tell your mom this.
So
okay.
we don't.
Hopefully she's not watching right now, but Cousins isn't even a top 12 quarterback, bro. Like, he's not even, it's not even close. So I don't know what you got to tell her or how you got to convince her. Maybe I can create a fake video where it says that Cousins retired and we'll play it for her, and she can just kind of like not know that he's still playing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, because I was looking at it, and I might be the only one that likes Irv, but I know when he went to college, he went as a wide receiver, and then he transformed into a tight end. So I'm looking at it, and I'm like, with this new offense, do you think he could be like a Higbee, which was like the bottom of the 12, like maybe 11, 12, I think, tight end?
Yeah. I Higbee, he's okay. I don't know about outside of the top 12, but like somebody you look at. But there's too many other players. You know, there's Freiermuth and guys like that I like more. That you shouldn't.
Knox, who I like.
You know, Komet even like is decent. You know, so I'm okay with that. By the way, the throne. Joe Mixon was selected by Couch at 1.10. So now the profit's on the clock. I like that Mixon. You know, Mixon wasn't going to fall to us, but like I like Mixon, but I certainly. I don't know that I want him as our first drafted player. I would much rather have Swift. You know, something a little more exciting. So like we wouldn't have taken him. All right, you got anything else, Bruce?
Javonte, I want.
Yeah, that's why I wanted the 12 picking away. I wanted Javonte.
No, it's about it. I can't think of. Oh, it's the Commanders with McLaurin and Wentz. Do you think McLaurin got an upgraded quarterback, or do you think he just stayed the same? Scary Terry.
Upgraded with Carson Wentz, yeah. I mean, definitely an upgrade. But is it enough to like really get the most out of him? No. It's like putting McLaurin in a position to maybe gain 70% of his value instead of 50. Like, this guy's a top 6 to 10 wide receiver, maybe top 5 to 10 wide receiver. McLaurin is that good. McLaurin is Antonio Brown 2.0. We just don't know it. We haven't seen it. We haven't sniffed it. We haven't even seen a glimpse of what McLaurin is capable of doing. He's got no one throwing him the football. This will be the first time that we're going to see somebody step up that has at least some ability to throw the football. So, I mean, I love McLaurin still. I still draft him. I think he, like, if you could somehow get him as like a high-end wide receiver 3 or a very low-end wide receiver 2, I'm all about it. I love McLaurin. He's going to find a way to do well. He'll do well enough with Wentz, but Wentz is certainly not an amazing quarterback option, but it's an upgrade for sure.
Okay. Yeah, that's all I had.
All right, Bruce.
Scary Terry.
Appreciate you, man.
All right, thank you.
Later.
Yep.
All right. This is from the Bruce too. His voicemail.
Hey, Smitty, here's a question. I'm on a Vikings website, and they said that Madison is a likely cut candidate. If he does get cut, what is the best team for Madison to go to?
Good question, there, Bruce. You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. What can I do for you? Good question. Who is this?
Hey, Smitty.
Turn that radio.
Oh, nice. Hey, Smitty, this is Tony.
Tony, what's up?
Long-time listener.
What's up, Tony?
Man, so I picked up a Dynasty startup sleeper league, and first time doing this, wanted to see what you thought. I was the 1-1, traded down. I traded my brother, Jonathan Taylor, and I ended up taking Derrick Henry for Mark Andrews. It was like a second round type type deal. But the reason I did it is because I wanted these back-to-back picks. So in his pick, I ended up getting, let's see, Derrick Henry, Mark Andrews, Stephon Diggs, David Montgomery, Mike Evans, Dak Prescott, Mike Williams. Those are my starters right there. You think that was the right move to do, trading that 1-1? I mean, I know everyone wants to keep it, but
1-1 for what though? What did you get for the trade? The trade you got Diggs.
No. So
trade?
I traded. It was the 1-1, but I wanted his 2-point. It was the.
What did you get? What are the players? I don't care about that. What did you get out of the picks that you got from him? I don't care about the picks. What was the trade?
I got Derrick Henry and Mark Andrews.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, Dynasty.
It's a tight end premium league.
Yeah, but it's Dynasty. I don't like it. Dynasty.
It's Dynasty and the whole. Well, I guess the way I was looking at it was because I'm the 1-1 and I got the late picks. I wanted to do back to backs. I wanted to have three picks in the second round, and then on the third I had the turn because I have 2.14 and the 3.1. So I'm the only one who was able to get 3 second-round picks and then have that turn. So I was able to trade him Taylor. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Taylor, and he likes Henry. But I mean, hell, it took Taylor how long to finally catch up to Derrick Henry? You know what I mean? I mean, don't get me. I like Taylor. I understand what you're saying on that guy, but I don't know. You think with my team right now that it was a good move or
no? Because I mean, you're saying a lot of things that aren't related to the trade though. Like the bottom line is you traded JT, regardless of how many second round picks you had and all that. You traded JT, who's the 1.1, for Henry, who's maybe a third rounder at best in Dynasty.
Okay.
Where did you draft Henry? What round? 2?
It was round 2. See, I guess they were all trading draft picks, and I was trying to get more picks early, so that way I can build a team. It's not a. I guess the team isn't it's a win now team, not a future. Like I said, it's my first time doing this.
Well, I'll tell you this. In a tight end premium, if Henry stays healthy, you're set up very nicely to win this year. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
Like, let me give you a compliment. Like Henry and Andrews in a tight end premium, you could argue Andrews in top of round 2 or mid round 2 in a tight end premium. So you didn't crap the bed or anything. But I don't know that I'm trading away JT or I'm trading down to get Jamar Chase at 4 or 5 and moving up somewhere. But for 2022, I will say you should, if you drafted well at all around it sounds like you did, you should have a real nice shot at winning some money. And maybe you get an offer for Henry midseason or whatever. But overall, you're going to end up having not a lot of value in Henry at all. It's going to drop off very quick. There's a reason why Henry's going number 5 overall in redraft, and he's a third rounder in Dynasty. And it sounds like you took him a little early in Dynasty. He's a third rounder in Dynasty.
Gotcha.
He's a third rounder at best. And you got to ask yourself, when there's such a discrepancy between Dynasty ADP and redraft ADP, that means you're at the tipping point where the player falls off. Because you have a Dynasty community that says, I'm not going near him. You have a redraft community that says he's the best ever. It's you're right on the precipice of it going downhill potentially. But for 2022, bro, you actually have a really, really good team and a good chance to win the money. And sometimes it's all it's about. And Dynasty leagues fold all the time, bro. You could win this and then people leave next year and it ends up closing and you're okay, well, great. I won the league and that's it. So take your chance of winning anytime you can get it. And I don't think you screwed up too badly in a long-term sense because it is a tight end premium league. That does change a little bit of it.
All right. Sounds good, man. Looks like I'll be looking for trades probably middle of the season.
Yep.
Give me some younger players, maybe that Breece Hall or something.
Oh, yeah. You could probably get Kenneth Walker really cheap right now. Try it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. With his hamstring injury and now, yeah. I'm sure somebody may be looking to trade him.
Yeah. And then ETN with the James Robinson news that James Robinson is going to play whatever. Doesn't scare me at all. Go get ETN. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Later. All right. Madison. I don't know. The rumors that Madison could get cut. Why would they cut Madison? Why would they? Why would Madison be a cut candidate? What kind of money could they save by cutting Madison? I don't even have his contract in front of me, but that sounds like a bunch of hogwash. So to answer that question to Bruce, no. I'm not putting stock into that until I hear it again.
Hope you're having a good day, bro.
Danny.
I just saw a report from the Panthers that they're going to dial back McCaffrey's practice regimen and take a different approach with him this upcoming season. What do you think that means for him in terms of staying healthy? And I know you're kind of out on CMC because of his injuries, but when he's on the field, he's clearly a top 3 player. So just give me your thoughts on the Panthers' approach to trying to keep him healthy and on the field this year. Thanks, bro.
Yeah, that's a tough topic. Because McCaffrey, unlike Todd Gurley from the past, that I'm all out on Gurley. All out on Gurley. Trade Gurley. No Todd Gurley. No Todd Gurley. You know the deal. We saw a decline. I'm going to voicemail group 2 next. I'm sorry, that was voicemail group 1. They dropped a lot of voicemails today, so voicemail group 2 better be balling. Although I don't know if I can get to them all because we're way over the time. McCaffrey hasn't dropped off like Gurley did, so it's hard to say like McCaffrey can't do it. He certainly could. But like, can you draft him at 2 or 3? Like in the Throne League he went 2. It's way too high. Like we need to see, just like we say Barkley, if Barkley needs to prove he's back before we invest high draft capital in Barkley, why are we not saying the same thing about Christian McCaffrey? I am, but I don't know why the fantasy community is giving him a 2-year pass when he hasn't delivered. And on top of that, he's been the highest percentage of his offense more than any other running back in fantasy football in the NFL for some time now, right? So the mileage has been through the roof. They're talking about can we dial him back to keep him healthy? I don't know, bro. I feel like it's definitely risky territory taking him high, but I understand when people want to own him. When he's on the field, we haven't seen the fall off. Kevin,
you ain't got to worry about it, Smitty. Voicemail 2 group represent. We got you, homie.
Let's go, voicemail 2 group. Let's go, Kevin.
Real talk though, Smitty. It's your boy Kevin. Hey, I need you to talk me out of something, or maybe take a lap, or call my mama, or whatever you got to do.
Call your mama.
I'm in a Dynasty League, win now mode. I kind of need a quarterback. I got Brady, got Mac Jones, and Ryan Tannehill. I got people trying to offer Kyle Murray for my Kyle Pitts. When would you ever trade Kyle Pitts? In your opinion?
Kyle Pitts. I don't know. Hey, what's up? You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. What can I do for you?
Hey, how's it going, Smitty?
Good. Who is this?
Good. This is Angus.
Angus, what's up, pal?
Yeah. So a common thing that's been happening to me in mock drafts is I really love Javonte Williams in round 2, so I love the value that I'm getting. But whenever I take, for example, Najee Harris in round 1 or Austin Eckler in round 1, one of those top running backs in addition to Javonte, I then kind of run into a problem with getting my receiver core down. So who are some people that you really like? And I guess 3, because I also love taking Breece Hall in 4 wherever I can get him. So I guess who would you trust as like that wide receiver 1 that you don't have to take in those first few rounds?
DK Metcalf, Jalen Waddle. Like whenever I go Swift Javonte with the 12 and 13 picks, so when I get the 1.12 and I got back-to-back 12 and 13 picks, and I take Javonte and I take Swift, it's my favorite team I think I draft all year, because then you got DK and Waddle falling to 3 and 4, and you can reach a little bit on DK at the end of the third there, because that's almost fourth round territory. Like, don't let anybody think, oh, he's a third rounder by name, don't take him. Take him in the third, take Waddle in the fourth, or take DK and Hall back to back, bro. And then, I mean, you could take a guy like wide receivers that are available probably in the range you're kind of thinking, like maybe Hollywood Brown, maybe Mike Williams. Pair Mike Williams up with DK. You've got Hall, you got Javonte and Swift. I mean, how you not winning with that team, Amon-Ra St.
Well,
Brown
those I really like them in the 6th. Because, yeah, I agree with you. Like, I've been taking Schultz in the 6th, honestly, just because I think he is really going to kind of blow up. And he's almost worth the reach compared to the other tight ends that you're going to get. And it's just a round, so I don't think it's too big of a deal. But, yeah, then that kind of frees up the 5th for that wide receiver 2, and that's usually where I've been taking Hollywood.
Amon
Mike
Ra,
Williams.
Hollywood, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Mike Williams. These are all guys that I think you could get as your second wide receiver with the exact strategy you're painting and mapping out. So, yeah, man, don't hesitate.
Yeah, I think you answered it. You definitely answered it with Waddle and DK. Because, yeah, like, I'm not worried about the wide receiver 2 spot. Hollywood is my wide receiver 2. I love that all day. It's just that number 1 spot, trusting it to somebody. But, yeah, I get you with the DK, even with someone like Gino, who kind of leaned on him a bit.
Bro, you crush it with Waddle and DK. DK at 3.12 and Waddle at 4.1. Those are very low draft capital draft slots for guys that can do what those guys can do.
For sure. Yeah, I'm with you there, man. All right, thank you so much.
All right, man, appreciate you. As for this Kyle Pitts question, I'm going to turn the phone lines off because I got to get through these voicemails. Of course. You are the last caller of the day. Who am I talking to?
What up, Smitty? This is Dan.
Dan, you got literally 30 seconds. I got to jump onto these voicemails real quick. What can I do for you?
All right. I want you to pick out of these 3 players, half PPR format, Tyreek Hill, CeeDee Lamb, and Deebo.
I'm going to go Deebo and Lamb. Not that I don't see Hill being the best wide receiver of the 3. It's certainly possible, but changing teams, Tua's his quarterback. He's lying to us. He's lying to our face. Hill is lying to your face, bro. He's putting on these Tua goggles, and he's telling you that Tua is the best quarterback in the NFL. He's telling you with his Tua goggles that to trust him. Trust me, this guy Tua is more accurate than Patty Mahomes. If I had to pick between Patty Mahomes and Tua, give me Tua all day long. I'm wearing my Tua goggles. Trust me. It's Lamb and Deebo.
I'm trusting you.
You what?
I said I'm trusting you, bro. I like that.
I mean, I don't know. I also worry about Hill with this hamstring, concerns I have for the future. I don't know if it's going to be 2 years from now that starts being a worry. I'm probably a little bit early on Hill suffering these lingering issues, but these speed guys break down quicker than the average bear, bro. Think of D. Jackson.
Listen, when you're getting paid like Hill is, you might be a company guy now. You're going to spit the lines out that people want to hear on that team. So honestly, listen, I love Tyreek Hill. I've used him in plenty of seasons, but I always find myself trading him, mid-season. And yeah, he's got a lot of name value still. And I think he still does. But again, on the Dolphins, there's a stink of fish that might be coming too strong on him this year. But I love CeeDee Lamb too. I don't usually like paying for a breakout, but a guy like him, I just see the stars aligning for him for sure. And Deebo, of course, we could potentially get, but the drop off could be there as well. I'll call you back, Smitty. You got to get to those calls.
I would say this. I would say Lamb's the guy you put up, and he's locked in. I mean, everything I said about Deebo or Hill, you could kind of say about Deebo too. You could say he ran the ball too much last year. What's going to happen? Change of offense, new court. There's a lot of change going on. But Deebo felt different last year. He felt like an electric player, man. And I don't know that I just see that going away. He felt like a playmaker, difference maker, just unbelievable. He didn't have the feeling of he was tripping and falling into good opportunity. He was making that opportunity by himself. And granted, they're not going to play him the same way. But I don't know. I just think I think I'd go Deebo and Lamb, but that's
no. Listen, we're trying to do. I got to do my due diligence if I'm going to spend a first, second round draft pick on this guy. That's capital that I can't be swinging and missing on.
I mean, if I gave you, big 80-inch tires, bro, and then but the vehicle we're going to put them on was like a Beetle,
a Miata.
Volkswagen Beetle or a Miata.
Yeah.
Like, what are you gonna do with those wheels, bro? That's Hill and Waddle, and then you've got this Tua guy. It's like a pea shooter, and he's supposed to, use these nuclear warheads and he can only fire little.
No,
BBs,
absolutely, and
you know,
and what it comes to as well is team construction. I'm in a keeper league. I'm keeping Chase for a 5th round draft pick, so I'm in a nice position where I can get a great wide receiver 2 right here, and I definitely want to hit on it.
All right, buddy, appreciate you. Trust your gut though, because I mean, honestly,
right, thanks, bro.
Hill and Deebo, it's tough. All right, later, man. It is a tough one. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's a really tough question. Asher.
Do you think Julio Jones or AJ Green have anything left in the tank this year?
Nope.
Hey, Smitty, this is Michael. So let's say Trey Lance does get the starting position, which I think most of us are assuming that he probably.
Whoa. Wait. What do you mean we're assuming? And what if he gets the? Who is this? Watley. What is this, Watley? If Trey Lance gets the starting job, bro, Jimmy can't throw the ball. He's injured. Trey Lance is commanding all of the press conferences. Like, you don't come out there and speak on behalf of the team. Like, we went out there, we did it live, and Jimmy's here. I gotta go. Like, it's Trey Lance season, bro. It's Trey Lance. One of the players, one of the San Francisco players, media. Who was it? Actually, they showed him playing Madden or something. I forget where it was or who put it up on. If it was a live stream or how it happened. Media can explain it maybe. But basically, the San Francisco 49er player, started playing Madden. He immediately subbed Jimmy out for Trey Lance, put Trey Lance into the lineup. This whole team knows it's Trey Lance season. So let's go back to the question. But it was a ridiculous beginning, Michael. Voicemail group 2 is pretty upset at you right now. Just kidding.
How big of a step down does Deebo take? If that,
step down? Whoa. Now you're running your mouth about stepping down? Deebo value is now in question because of the upgrade in quarterback? A step down? Like, I understand they leaned on him a certain way. I realize they lean on him a certain way, and people assume that if now Jimmy's not there to just kind of like, where's my safety net, Deebo, and not assume that Deebo created that. That was Jimmy G creating. Don't attribute anything to Jimmy G. Let's not act like Jimmy G turned Deebo into something. Deebo carried Jimmy G, and if you upgrade his quarterback, Deebo is going to do better. Do better. I don't even know what's going on here.
Warning.
I'm getting a little upset in this mug because...
Alert. Maximum levels reached. Prepare for transformation. Alert. Maximum levels reached.
Time for a Smitty rant.
This is going to be a short rant, but Michael, anybody out there that thinks that this character Jimmy G is coming in and starting games in 2022. I mean, if Lance got hurt, it'd be a whole different story. Okay? But we're talking about Trey Lance season. Trey Lance is top 5 to 7 quarterback bound. I don't want to hear ever again that because, and Michael, you're my boy Blue. I'm not mad at you. We just need to rectify this situation. And the words that I heard come out of your mouth today. Is Deebo going to be downgraded because an amazing quarterback's coming into the roster and dropping in top 5 to 7 fantasy football and NFL season? Are we worried about the upgrade? Is Deebo going to be downgraded because an upgrade plus a downgrade equals a side grade? No. Deebo Samuel is going to ball. Deebo Samuel was number 1 in the NFL in yards per catch last year on the whole season. He was removed from wide receiver duties. He still was number 1 in yards per catch. Deebo Samuel was, I believe, in the top 5, right around top 5. I'm not 100% sure on that number. I think it's 4 to 7. Top 5, I believe, in wide receiver scoring fantasy football before the transition happened where they moved them to wide back and specifically at times running back. Deebo Samuel's still going to play wide back. Everybody painting this narrative that Deebo doesn't want to run the football. Deebo's scared to run the football. Deebo doesn't want the ball in his hands. Deebo, hot potato. I don't want the running. I don't want the ball. I don't want the ball. It's the biggest dumb narrative I've ever heard in my life. Deebo's playing wide back. Get used to it. He's not playing run. What people don't understand about wide back, Deebo was playing running back. Deebo was lining up in the backfield, playing running back, getting the football handed to him, running up the A gap, running up the B gap. Deebo Samuel was a running back. He wasn't playing wide back at the end of the year. He's playing running back. People need to understand the concept of what a wide back means. You're a wide receiver and you're getting the football in creative ways, sometimes behind the line of scrimmage or behind the quarterback where it turns into a rushing stat. Or you just turn around at the line of scrimmage and it is a reception, but we're going to put the ball in your hands, and instead of letting Jimmy G, who had no arm strength or ability or accuracy or anything, you're allowing Deebo. Hey, Deebo, we don't trust Jimmy G to throw the football. He's over there somewhere. Ah! And he's just going to underhand it. Here you go, Kittle. I'm going to throw it to you. They don't trust Jimmy G. So it's, hey, hike. Hey, Deebo, you take it. And Deebo would take it. And Deebo would do amazing. So, Michael, does Deebo decrease in value because of the downgrade of Trey Lance? I don't know where you read that, heard that, but I would walk away from that source immediately. I would sever ties with whatever analyst show or newspaper column or laundry person at a laundromat that just whispered that in your ear when you went to go pick up the collared shirts. I would leave that person's side immediately and find a different source because Trey Lance season's here. All right, let's finish the last 4 seconds of Michael's. I hope he doesn't say anything else.
Where would you be drafting him if they named him the starter tomorrow?
It still feels negative. It still feels negative, Michael. Michael, you're my boy, Blue. How's Michael taking this? I hope Michael's not taking this badly. Okay. Michael, you're my boy, Blue. I totally am joking with you in some ways, okay? We're having fun with you. I know what you're trying to say. You're trying to say, does the change and we don't really know what his role is going to be. I get you're probably trying to go in that direction. But I hear this all the time, and I think most people talk about it like that. So I wanted to address it. Anyway, thanks. I need the constructive criticism, says Michael. Michael's taking it like a beast. Let's Smitty approve Michael. Actually, you know what? We're going to mash potato. We're going to mash potato Michael for being a good sport.
Let's go! Mashed potatoes!
Appreciate Michael. Attaboy. Attaboy to you, young man. We are 7 minutes away from my live premiere on YouTube. So I want every one of you 80 people that are watching right now, first of all, hit that subscribe button if you're new.
Hit that subscribe button if you're new, and wipe your feet at the door.
Wipe your feet, hit that thumb up button if you can. Let's have the eyeballs match the viewers. But as soon as this ends, we're jumping over to the immediate live premiere on my same YouTube channel, the same exact channel, on 3rd and 4th round league winners. Who can win you a league in the 3rd and 4th round in 2022? This live premiere goes live in T-minus 6 minutes. So we're going to jump over there in a second. I don't have time to get to any of the other messages. Silver, I'll play yours real quick.
Hey, brother, it's Silver. Hey, man, will you make that Kenny P a mod for me? Kind of help me out a little bit. This guy's in here all day, every day. He's loyal. He's competitive.
Kenny? Are you talking about Kenny?
He's a pretty good dude, man. Can you make him a mod? Help me out a little bit.
Are you talking about Kenny? Kenny Powers? Who are we talking about, Silver? I didn't quite hear you. Where's the new link for the new show? It should be up here. It should be up on the main YouTube channel. You know, the main homepage. It should say premiere. You know, and you could get in the chat probably. It's a T-minus 6 minutes. Maybe, it should be up right now. That's going to do it for today. Anything breaks tonight, I'll go live. Saragusa passed away. 2 Ravens players passed away. So thoughts and prayers to the families. Saragusa will be missed. A lot of people getting taken young from us. It's kind of a shame. I mean, it is a shame. Not kind of a shame. It is a shame. It's crazy. It's crazy. Life is too short. Hug your loved ones. Live life to the fullest. Do what you love every single day. Don't put yourself in a box and hate what you do. Love coming home, every day. Figure out what you want to do in life and go make it happen. Don't wait around. Don't wait around. I'm live every single Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. I also go live anytime there's breaking news. So that could be tonight. McLaurin signs an extension or gets traded tonight. I go live tonight. I might mock draft tonight. Be subscribed to the channel. Now get over to the premiere on the same YouTube channel, The Fantasy Football Show. Get into the live chat. Let's talk about it as the video plays. Appreciate it. Just go on over to the main YouTube page. You're going to hit home or hit channel homepage or whatever. Go to my main homepage of my YouTube channel and you'll see the live premiere sitting right there. Jump in. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it as it plays live. It's a post-production 22-minute video on how to win a league with the 3rd and 4th round. Let's go. Like button on the way out the door. Like button on the way out the door. Michael Watley, I appreciate you, buddy boy. You're Smitty approved, Michael. Michael Smitty approved. Mashed potatoes. Attaboy, Michael. Michael was a good sport. All right, later, everybody. See ya during the premiere. Yeah, we better see all 7. There's 78 of you still in here right now, listening to my voice, dropping some bombs here, and I think if all of you went over to this premiere, we could have 78 viewers live over there. So let's jump over there. Appreciate every single one of you. Premiere set for tomorrow. Oh yeah. Hold on. Okay, I fixed it. The premiere is set now. Go to the premiere right now. Right now. It's going live in 2-3 minutes. Get on over there. The premiere. Thank you for telling me that. I changed it to today. Let's go. Let's go. It's called League Winners. Breece Hall, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, Travis Etienne, and a picture of those cats right on the graphic. It says these players win leagues. I just saved it. Maybe refresh. Maybe scroll down, pull down, and let it refresh. Let's go.